The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour. And, of course, we just had the FOMC notes out. And, of course, we're going right into the press conference, which starts at the bottom of the hour. So not much reaction so far. I didn't expect it. My thoughts have been and have not changed since last summer when Ben Bernanke was fired on 60 Minutes. Everything I've read since then says the same thing, and that is that he found himself disinvited for yet another term when he said he was looking at tapering sooner rather than later. He decided to go ahead with it, and for the most part, Janet Yellen is going along, but they're not going to accelerate anything before the elections. And my guess is that's the same thing, and that her deal with the devil was that they wouldn't do anything before the election. So I think we're going to continue the tapering, which has already been put in place. Probably adjusting that tapering would do more harm than good, she probably thinks, and probably at least got the president to go along with that. But for the most part, kind of hard to ever get a politician to say, turn off that fire hose of cash going into the economy right before an election. Doesn't matter how much. And it's probably one of the reasons why these economists and Fed presidents are always extremely late, and you almost always get inflations after they basically muck around with the economy. But anyway, we're basically up 1 point here, 1.76 billion shares as we start the show. And my guess is it is going to be kind of problematic. Certainly you get, somebody says, all politics all the time, Terry in the Den says. Where they can affect it, politicians, it's not, I think they don't, they need to take that Democratic oath, which is first, do no harm. And really, their motto is first, do not let any cash hit the floor. You need to grab it all. And part of that is being able to win elections. And then you get to decide what the law really says it says. And what else can you say? It is, at least politics, especially in the Fed, does have, at the edges, some meaning. But to my belief, that's why Bernanke did not come back. The current setup then probably takes us with continued 10 billion tapers for every meeting from now on until there's no more cash left. But I think the market pretty much looked at all this. So we're going to get through the press event. From what I could read in the newspapers, they're expecting it to last somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. That means at about 3:15. We should be out of the woods on that, and the rest of the market can continue to move along as it should. I'm trying to take a look and see any of my stocks really seeing any kind of real difference. See anything in here? Nah, not really. Dime or two doesn't really matter. And, of course, that's probably pretty much in line with what the S&P cash does. Down, we're basically up about 2 points. So get ready and hurry up and wait for, another 20 minutes. And at that point, we're probably going to see a little bit of pullback once they get through the initial questions. If it doesn't sound like she's going to do something, my guess is that we're going to see the real tendency of the market to move and continue on with that. In 1998, on this day, Internet stocks got an electrifying boost as Walt Disney agrees to buy 43% of InfoSeek company. I don't know how many people remember InfoSeek. Basically, roughly $550 million in cash, stocks, and warrants. InfoSeek stock shoots up to $43, closes at $35 that day. And, of course, this is just to the run-up, the top of the dot-com bust. Interestingly enough, by March 2001, Disney sells it at a price of about $5 a share. So just one of those days that I kind of remember some of these companies out here that have come and gone. And just when I look especially at the IPOs this week, I have a feeling that a lot of them, thank God, have not reached the level of the taxi driver knowing about them, because a lot of them are pretty poor. I'm figuring that in a year, if half of these stocks in the last few weeks are still in business, it will be a miracle. A lot of these stocks being pushed, but I think we can probably move on from here. Oracle is looking at and probably going to be buying micros. And micro, if you've ever been to a restaurant, you'll always see the cash registers, and you'll see micros on it somewhere. They also sold under a variety of other names across 180 countries. Oracle's going to pick them up in the point-of-sale hardware and software business and try to make a vertical market for all of point-of-sale retail. Anyway, they serve nearly 600,000 hotels, casinos, restaurants, retailers, and cruise lines combined. And guess what? Oracle and their databases can do about every purchase that you make. Boy, are they going to probably... Is this going to be the equivalent of Google, but for cash registers, but for cash sales? Makes a lot of sense to me from the Oracle side. And I guess this is going to be priced somewhere around $5 billion. But is Oracle in this one swipe going to have the same information that Google has, except they're going to know where every one of these cash register receipts came from and when and what people do? Google sees what you search for and tries to sell you something. Oracle might be able to see what you spend on everything and figure out also how to extract a little bit more cash for those companies that they deal with in the cash registers. But my guess is this goes a little bit more than just wanting to do the financial databases of these cash registers, retailers. I think that they're getting into the opposite side of search, which is let's find out about what cash registers are, what people really, truly spending money on, which will be kind of interesting. High-frequency trading, we talked about that yesterday. It's a mad market. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, and I suspect that you can post a message in the den, and I'll be glad to take a look at it also. Wanted to look at a few of the stocks moving already. Adobe came out, and I have a feeling that this a lot of these stocks very, very thin, very light volume. Again, you have to be pretty sharp to be short these markets or find a stock that probably doesn't have huge short interest, or that has already taken over and squozen that short interest. Adobe Systems didn't have a huge short interest, but enough. And I have a feeling that a lot of people knew that on the other side of this. They did have earnings out last night, and they're moving more and more of their sales to a subscription basis. But does that actually make them any money or any more money than they were making before? And the answer is no. It certainly smooths it out. They get cash every month instead of up front. The question that I see is that their revenues really are not that much better. And kind of a very optimistic view of what was going on here. So I'm going to add and chalk this up a little bit more to short interest and very thin markets than Adobe, unless I see something else. Listen to part of the conference call on this stock also. And there were a lot of people kind of asking dubiously about what happened with the revenues. And not a very good answer. But doesn't start or stop anybody right now. There is an insatiable appetite to buy stocks at highs. And, of course, what you wanted to see was this thing bust out with more than 5.7 million shares from the February 28th high at 71 and 11 cents. 5.7 million shares. You already got 8.6, so you certainly have a definitive blowout. I would have liked to see the candle a little bit more, If this thing rally and come back to around 71 bucks on light volume, you'd certainly have to take a look at it on the actual chart itself. I'm kind of worried about those revenues, though. Air Products, another one of these companies out here in buyout land. I'm trying to remember the who's buying them now. Oh, this is the new CEO. I forgot. Yeah. Pershing Square and Bill Ackman basically get to push in their own new CEO. They're going to sell off some of the parts of the company and return the cash. At least that's what this new CEO is planning to do. And you have a nice pop out here, again with nice volume. A lot of these stocks sitting out here. And just a little bit of news is all as it takes with some fairly decent stock manipulation in the background. Somebody like a big hedge fund like Ackman to go out here and run the stock up a good $10 here today. And of course, it did break out. All you needed was 1.9 million shares, 6.9 million shares today, so not all that bad. The March 21st high, 124.40, and again, 1.9 million shares. You certainly got that. And even if you want to look at some of the other highs that were blown through with the same or immediate volume, 3.4 million shares. Certainly any kind of hurdle, even the most pessimistic of them or most conservative, look like this thing is busted out. Of course, a lot of these did not hold their pops that sold back in, and we'll see at the close just how well some of these do. Another one, big loser out here is CAG. And as we look at this, ConAgra Foods, this is the dog of the day so far. I wanted to look at the news here. Headlines, just so I can read it off. The stock is slowing on Wednesday after management warned fourth quarter earnings could come in below prior expectations. The company expects adjusted net income of 55 cents a share, below previous guidance of 60 cents. So probably all you need to know out here on Agra. Kind of hard to think in a business of food, maybe they're paying too much. But certainly down, heavy volume, opens up the low back here at $28.09 for ConAgra. CCIH, another one of these stocks moving out here today. I'll take a quick look at it. It's China Cash International, and I don't know a lot about this, so let's take a quick look at this one. It's getting back up to at least the left side of the chart when it was up here at this price last time. Through its subsidiaries, provides content and application delivery services in the People's Republic of China. The company offers a portfolio of services and solutions to business, government agencies, and other enterprises to enhance reliability and scalability of online services. Well, you can give me a call, 877-927-6648. We'll be back and look at this and some of the other stocks moving today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk, charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Had somebody ask about D now in the den. This is a recent split off of another company independently of National Oil Well Varco as of May 30th, 2014. Not enough time to really see what's going on in any kind of chart here. This thing looks like lower highs and higher lows out here, and this thing's gone sideways for a few days. Hard to really tell anything yet, at least technically on this. Interesting business. Industrial markets in the United States, Canada, and internationally. Company products include pipes, valves, and valve automation, fitting, mill, and industrial supplies, tools, safety products, and artificial lift systems. So, don't know. Just not enough to see how it, as a spinoff, it now works. Coach out here getting a huge downgrade, and one of the stocks that sucketh today kind of rolled over. I think the downgrade came just after the open. I saw it kind of pulling back. But again, this stock's been down for a while. Kind of interesting to see these stocks down here. The question would be what the volume's going to look like at this next test. You've had a couple down here in that $38.60 range. Of course, the energy basically slowed down a little bit. This may be, again, one of these stories where the downgrade is expected to get the weakest hands out, and maybe someone's accumulating. If the volume stays light back down here one more time, you might actually be looking at Coach as a buy. I'm not real bullish long-term on the market, but this one may be wrung out, as they say. DOM. is another one out here working today. Dominion Resources. This one certainly just about, what did I do here? I didn't read the news on this, so let's go to the headlines just to find out why this blew apart. Dominion Black Warrior Trust grossly overvalued, 75% downside, 90% of oil wells may be losing money. Ugh. Well, that is some rather bad news. Dominion production levels are declining. The trust is likely to close in 4 or 5 years. Wells are being shut, and the vast majority of wells may be losing money. Dominion's own 2014 reserve report suggests a fair value of $2.64. So I think that probably tells you just about everything you need to know with Dominion Resources. Of course, FDX came out with earnings last night. We've got, about 2 million and 2.5 minutes to go. FedEx, nice little pop out here. You would have liked to see a little bit more volume, 3.5 million shares so far, so we'll be checking on that. Of course, if you've been reading the news or listening to this show, I've been talking ad nauseum about the problems that the tech industry will have with a two-tiered system, the so-called fast lane for the internet, and of course net neutrality. And one of the funniest things I've heard lately is one of the guys that used to be on the Comedy Central has left and gone to, I think it's HBO. John Oliver, he's the English guy with the haircut and the glasses that makes him look like Harry Potter. But anyway, he recorded this on his show, and I'm going to just go ahead and play it back here in the time we've got.
Ago, we did a piece about net neutrality, and there was a moment in it where we pointed out that Tom Wheeler, the chair of the FCC, which is tasked with regulating cable companies, was previously a lobbyist for the cable industry. Something of a conflict of interest that we summarised thusly. That is the equivalent of needing a babysitter and hiring a dingo. Right. Sure, it's a little offensive to a baby-eating animal, but needs must for the joke.
Well, of course, someone asked him in a hearing on Friday what he thought about John Oliver's comments, and I tell you what, you just can't write this stuff.
I would like to state for the record, I'm not a dingo.
Well, yes, we've got a corrupt government, and of course, no more than have the biggest cheerleader for Comcast become the gatekeeper for them. But he says he's not a dingo. I don't know if I believe it. We'll be back in a minute.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, of course, any FOMC meeting would not be complete without the Yellen prayer. And then we'll be back in 50 seconds and look at some more stocks.
For our Janet, who art in finance, hallowed be the Yellen. Thy auctions come, thy bills be done, in twos as they are in sevens. Give us this day our daily fed, and forgive us our treasuries, as we forgive those that default against us. And lead us not into recession, and deliver us from deflation. For thine is the borrowing, the easing, and the printing, forever and ever and ever. Amen.
Oh, it always gives me just a little time to check out some of the other stocks moving here in the market. And it is pretty much, I think someone said it in the den. We had a plus 1,200 tick out here. And I think you probably, at least for the short term, had as many of the shorts probably squozen out of this market. And it's not uncommon to see the first move in these the wrong direction or a head fake. When I look at options, they basically say that we should be expiring somewhere around 1950 on the S&P cash. And, of course, a lot of times they're just a little low. There's a little bit higher bias to the market. But I would not be surprised to see us go right into Friday at 1940. This is one of the highest probabilities for what options can tell us mathematically of any. And I don't, maybe the market really was thinking she might say something bad, but for the life of me, I couldn't find anybody that was saying or really believing that there was going to be a lot of difference in what she said today. And, of course, she's speaking now, and it's all fed gobbledygook. And I think all we need to know is that at least interests are not going up anytime soon, even if they're going to continue to pull out some of the cash out here. Most interesting to me today is the dollar index. The continuous on that is $80.54. What do we see out here? Yeah, $80.55 on the contract. So not a great deal of movement. That's probably what we need to see these markets crack, at least in the next few days. Didn't see much of that. But just a few of these stocks, if you've got really high short interest, then these stocks are tending to move. We've got some of these stocks that have been, let's say, overpriced at the same time. Live Deal is one of those stocks that basically it was a beanie baby. No one believed in any of the hokum, at least nobody I know believed in any of the hokum that took that stock to $11.94. But it is one of the stocks that's actually out here kind of bouncing a little bit today. Don't see a great deal in this volume. You'd love it to come back down to the 227 and retest that low. Lazy Boy, another one of these stocks moving out here today. And that is, well, you know, you did pop down lower. A lot of volume in Lazy Boy, a company I love to sit in their chairs. And after Father's Day, too, I don't know, maybe they came out with some more news. When we look back out here, trying to really see if anything's hanging out here that would give us any clues into Lazy Boy. But my guess is just the housing market as it started to pull back. A lot of people buying new furniture, new sofas, new beds when they buy their new houses. And just kind of tough to see that that isn't probably just the story on this. Let's go back and look at the headlines real quick and see if there's anything on it. Conference call headlines. Weaker summer demand supply expected from Lazy Boy. And it's probably just what we thought. That the sales have come off a little bit of houses, and that's taken a little bloom off the rose on Lazy Boy themselves. M-E-E-T, meat. And we'll bring that up here. But nice big move out here. This one, of course, one of these other one of these other stocks that was up to $4.39 not too long ago, March 10th, has got all the way down to $1.71. And again, some of these people taking, especially today, even the last few days, taking some of these highly short stocks that they've crushed out here and popping them. This did have a nice little pop out here. See if there's any headlines on this one. Buy rating. Again, a lot of expiration tricks going on out here. I don't suspect that Wonderlynch Securities is buying any $2 stock. Most likely they were probably facilitating somebody else, either trying to squeeze somebody else or help somebody. Normally people don't get involved in $2 stocks. Earnings per share improvement in the most recent quarter. Net income. Of course, to me, this thing just looks like a lot of these stocks that have ripped back after being plummeted and beat on for a while, and that is just a huge short interest. And the most of these companies, even like Radio Shack, take a long time to die. They're mostly dead. They're just not totally dead. Plug Power, another one out here. We're going to take a quick look at on this. We're going to get some other stocks. This one had been going sideways for a while. You can make a case that this was some level of accumulation. Certainly could see that there wasn't a lot of reason to think that this thing was going to blow out the bottom. See what we have on here. Of course, every time crude goes up, you always see all the rest of it. see what this has to say out here. Somebody talking about a buyout apparently on Plug Power. Nice volume up here. And of course, this is a stock that was a high flyer. I had been warning about it back into this market for a long time, as these companies are the technology of the future and always will be, mostly because the catalysts that they use for their systems to create electricity, mostly based on things like gold and platinum and very, very expensive metals. And, of course, the whole idea of turning water and hydrogen into electricity, not a bad idea until you get into the expense of the gold and the platinum. And I think this thing really ran on news that they were going to set up a deal with Walmart. But like I said, these deals come far and few between, and mostly they are PR stunts for companies like Walmart. This thing did go sideways for a while out here. Maybe just that they were looking at this expiration week of trying to get this thing up to $5, and today was the day that they were going to pull the stunt, as it were, to take a look at this. Let's go back here and look at the S&P cash. Yeah, it looks like that 1200 tick probably set the high, at least for a while, until she's done talking. 1947.90 on the S&P cash, 2 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange consolidated tape. And Verso paper, this one's actually getting back into support. Probably not worth talking a lot about this. Let's go back and look at a few other stocks. Wanted to see how some of these stocks that had been hanging out at highs had been doing. Activision Blizzard, of course, we talked about this one, and their earnings. Of course, this company's popped up twice on earnings and comments on earnings in the near future. Of course, still not a lot of volume at these highs. And if you go back and look at the left side of this chart, a lot of overhang on Activision Blizzard and some of these other game companies. But still hanging out at these highs. Microsoft was another one that I'd noticed had gotten back up to retest its highs, and wanted to see how this one was doing today. And again, we've got very light volume tests of the highs in some of these bigger stocks that keep rolling. And it is going to be interesting. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. In Microsoft, of course, you got the April 2nd high that had 46 million shares into it at 41.66. We've gone above it. We're closing below it. Yesterday, what did we have? 22.5 million shares. The day before, 24 million shares. The day before that, 26 million shares. I tend to always use the highest volume within 1.5% of the high, so I'm going to use the 26 million shares from the 13th of June, June here. And so even if you use the highest volume within that 0.5%, the most conservative numbers would still go up against that 46 million shares. And pretty tough to think that we haven't probably got at least a trading range in Microsoft, probably between this 38.51 and 41.91. Of course, they've got a lot of good news, especially with Intel, INTC. Let's take a look at this one and see how it's going. And after earnings, fairly decent pop. Really hasn't come off this at any. Certainly got a nice amount of a gap here to fill, but not a lot of energy on the downside to Intel out here. PNC Banks, and of course, we'll look at XLF right after this on PNC. PNC Financial, wanted to see some juice out of this one up here at these highs. Probably still can go to 90 just on an options expiration week. But not seeing a lot, and a little bit of a doji and not a lot of volume out here. We're looking at the April 4th high to key off, $88.03, 4.3 million shares. And, of course, when we look at this one, the highest volume you could get was 2.9 million shares into that 4.3 million share high. We saw that, what is that? actually on a down day for the 2.9 million shares on the 12th. And any of these days it really started pushing highs, like yesterday, 1.76 million shares, today 1.4 million shares. Seeing a lot of these stocks, just especially with those light volume in the summer, may not roll over, but it looks very tough that we're going to see a lot of upside to them. Let's see what else we have out here. Okay, Signet Jewelers is another one, SIG. This stock is and was just up against the previous highs at 107.74 from the April 2nd high. The highest volume, of course, within 0.5% of that April 2nd high was 4.1 million shares. When we look at it, first time it got into it was the 29th of May with just under 2 million shares. Kind of gone sideways. Last 2 days, as we watch everything else, what would you say? Well, 719,000 shares yesterday. 241,000 shares as we go higher today. And again, just very tough to see any of these stocks truly reaching for these highs on any kind of volume, and not really weird that we're not seeing a great deal of movement out here with Janet Yellen moving. And of course, I think probably the last 30 minutes of the day are going to be a great deal of what we're looking for. Sunoco Products, SON. Another one of these energy stocks up at the high. It was tested with much lighter volume yesterday, back in the trading range. The January high of 43.75 with 2.3 million shares. What do we have in the last few days? To 495,000, 265,000, 349,000 today, 111,000. And of course, it's going to probably be over the next 2 days. Not expecting this market to roll over probably before Monday or Tuesday, if it rolls over at all. But I have a feeling that this market really looks very, very locked up into Friday's expiration. XEC, another one of these companies that we're looking at as soon as it comes up. And another one up here, Cimarex Energy. We've been talking about this one for a few days. Another one out here that really can't get a great deal moving. And let's see, what's crude off? Crude's off 28 cents today. So not a great deal of movement in that market either. But certainly had that spike on May 7th, $139.90. Got into it, went above it. We've closed below it. And yesterday, 141.21, 1.5 million shares. So certainly qualifies of hitting these highs on half the volume, 588,000 shares so far today. So we got a lot of stocks out here that could be low-hanging fruit, or at least into upper trading ranges that have enough energy in the summer, light volume trading period to break out. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But anyway, Janet Yellen is still speaking, so we'll be back in just a minute and look at a few more stocks before the end of the day. You can still have plenty of time to email me at pathtfnn.com or give me a call at 877-927-6648.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we're back here trying to push the highs up 7 points on the S&P at 1948.81, 2.1 billion shares. So again, not a lot of juice behind this market. We're going to go right to Dudley in Orlando. How you doing today, Dudley?
Hey, good afternoon, David. I enjoy your show.
Oh, thank you.
David, would you kindly look at American Express and see how it looks to you?
What are you thinking on doing, going long or short?
I am short. I've got puts. July 18th is the
I don't think you've got a lot of problems to the upside. I'm just wondering when the XLF, you really need the XLF to really break. And my guess is that you could hang out here all the way to the 4th of July and probably not have a big deal of volatility in this thing. That's the real problem, is that especially in these markets with light volume, you've got to have some real moving factor. And right now, the moving factor is how to keep these stocks going sideways as much as they can. I mean, we're up, 7 points today, but with 2.1 billion shares, unless when Janet gets done, we start seeing a great deal of volume, my guess is that we probably come back down to 1940 for Friday's close, so maybe you get a little bit better out there. But you're going to need a stock. To move a stock probably in the next couple of weeks, you're probably going to need some stock that's going to have some significant news and or a short squeeze. I'm not looking for a great deal of movement in any of these other stocks. I just don't know what in American Express, you know when their earnings are?
No, I don't, David. I just looked at the chart, and it looked like it was rolling over.
To me, it's kind of going sideways. And could it fail tomorrow? The answer is yes. Will it? There's so many people on the street that are holding these big name stocks up that it's problematic. Let's look at the earnings date. I'm just thinking, you got July 14th. So to me, the problem would be that could they keep this thing rolling till July 14th and then blow it up? And the answer in so many of these stocks now is yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? You get it all on July 15th. And that would be the problem. You really need a market that's moving to get one of these big stocks that's considered kind of a blue chip or one of the other ones moving up here. And right now, you just don't have any momentum one way or the other. What price are you short at?
At 90. Okay.
So you're on the wrong side of this a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, 90 is a strike.
When are you?
18th of July is expiration.
So that's going to be. Let's see, what do we have for July out here? That's going to. Hang on a second. Trying to bring my calendar up and it's doing everything but what I'm looking for. Okay, so 4th, 11th, 18th is expiration day.
Yeah.
You got the 4th on a Friday, so that gives us a 3-day weekend. Boy, to tell you the truth, I would probably think that probably a better time to be buying these puts is the 7th when we come back after that 3-day weekend.
Yeah, I might look for a spot to unload them.
Yeah, I just don't see a great deal of anything out here. Could the wheels fall off and they pre-announce? The answer is yes, but with some kind of big news event, it's tough for me to see a market that doesn't just dribble up to 2,000 by 4th of July on the S&P cash. And, of course, American Express is in it. It's going to be tough to kind of nail any of these big names down too hard before then, at least in my call. So I want to thank you for calling and listening to the show. We'll see you tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can or even cover when you can, not when you have to.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.